This is Lance with Brando Consulting. We're excited to welcome Madison Kishon. Did I say your last name right?
Yes, you got that right. Exactly.
Madison Kishon from Finale Inventory. She's over the partner program over there and knows the software really well. Madison is going to show us the Finale software and just kind of go through the entire workflow in this deep dive demo. We'll see the sales order entry, the work order entry, or maybe how sales orders sync, how Finale captures sales orders, because I would consider Finale robust e-commerce software. Is that fair? Is that a fair
statement? That is a fair statement. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Our bread and butter.
So the sales order capturing is what we're going to see in the work order creation, purchase order creation, and then we'll close the loop by fulfilling purchase orders, and we'll get to see mobile warehouse. Finale has a mobile device that scans barcodes and things like that. So fulfilling purchase orders, fulfilling work orders, and fulfilling sales orders. And then also we're going to see how it sends data to QuickBooks and what that data looks like in QuickBooks. And we got it all ready to go. So thank you, Madison, for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Happy to be here. I'm excited to show off the software.
I mentioned that Finale, I consider personally robust e-commerce software. And also, I think in one of our previous meetings, just to point out the robustness of it, I think it's worthy to mention that someone told me from Finale that can do upwards of 1 million orders per month. So that's pretty.
It's quite a lot.
That's a great bragging point. Yeah. So high volume. Yeah.
Yes.
Some really good volume. And when you mention that volume, I actually think of one of the clients I had one time who mass produced essential oils. Here in Utah, that's kind of popular. We got a lot of essential oil manufacturers and distributors around here. And I had one years and years ago before I knew too much about Finale. And yeah, they were pushing out about 4,000 orders a day, And so I kind of wish I knew about Finale back then.
Yeah.
And I hear oils and supplement manufacturers and distributors is kind of a forte of yours, right?
Yeah, that is definitely has become a forte. It's been on the rise lately. I feel like maybe when we first started out, we weren't seeing them as much, but as the market has grown for them, they've definitely been coming to Finale.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's not to say that Finale is only for oils and supplements. I mean, what else would you think is popular? I'm sure, Finale is, I would also consider Finale small business software for QuickBooks users, right?
I think that's a fair statement.
And that's kind of in the market. Generally, I live in the market of businesses that are between $1 million a year to 50 million a year. And that's usually not accurate for e-commerce software. Here at Brando Consulting, we do a lot with manufacturing and distribution, and we're getting more and more into e-commerce software. And what we're learning is sort of the limit on small business e-commerce software is upwards of like 200 million a year. Is that right?
Right. Yeah, definitely. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Fair to say.
So, okay. Anything else we should Finale before we check out the sales order screen, or should we get started? Should we take a look?
Well, you kind of mentioned some other industries, we serve. So like you said, supplements, essential oils. Another popular one we do is solar panels. We have a lot of solar panel industries. Yeah.
Interesting.
So, our ability to scan and track by the serial number, by the lot number has, brought on the solar panel industries to us as well. A lot of electronics, so cell phones, computers, tablets, and of course, fireworks. Fireworks is, the whole reason Finale kind of started. Yep. So we, we do have like ATF regulations and that kind of thing too. So a pretty wide range of uses, I could say.
Nice. Oh, cool. Yeah. My son sells solar panels right now, and I have a bunch of adult children, and so I've met a lot of their friends that are selling solar panels, and I'm hearing that that is really taking off right now.
It is. It is.
Everyone's jumping on board. So that's great. That's
Yeah.
great that you can help these solar panel manufacturers and installers, I imagine.
Right. Exactly. Yep. Exactly. Exactly. We help them, manage their jobs and, what's going in and coming out, that whole kind of deal.
Well, let's take a look. Show us how
Yes.
Finale captures orders, and um, I'm sure that's how it works in the e-commerce world. You don't do a whole lot of manual creation of sales orders. The sales orders are funneled in from shopping
Exactly.
carts and marketplaces and whatnot. So maybe show us some of the configuration screens. And I know that would be kind of difficult to show without a live shopping cart, but yeah, show us what you can as
Yeah.
far as
No,
order
because
capturing goes.
of course, yeah. So, like you said, most e-commerce businesses, when they are, using a inventory management system, they are typically using shopping carts or shipping softwares like ShipStation, and they're pulling their orders into their inventory management system that way. So, not usually manual order creation, but this is our integration screen. And most of our integrations are pretty plug and play. So you can set up your ShipStation integration by yourself, your Shopify, your Amazon integration. You can set these up, kind of all by yourself. Finale walks you through it. You don't need a developer. You don't need our engineers. You don't need, really one of us. You're able to kind of plug and play it on your own. So that is like a huge benefit, I think.
Nice.
But yeah, let's jump into my ShipStation integration because that is the one that I do have. So I can show you kind of how it is broken down.
Okay.
So when Finale pulls in your orders from ShipStation, we are able to kind of break them up by their source. So maybe you have multiple ship from locations in your ShipStation, and you've got your West Coast orders coming into using this ship from, your East Coast orders using this ship from, your middle using this ship from. You can have as many ship froms as you need in ShipStation. And basically, Finale is able to route those orders into our system based on
And
that.
that's unique to what I'm used to,
Mhm.
that the order comes in through ShipStation. I mostly think that, okay, the order goes out through ShipStation. So
Right.
that's a unique program design you guys have there. But it kind of makes sense
Mhm.
because when an entrepreneur, now I classify an entrepreneur as someone who's doing less than $1 million a year, less than 3 million a year, right?
Mhm.
Most of these companies start out with Shopify and Amazon or something, right, that is connected to
Mhm.
ShipStation and connected to
Yep.
QuickBooks. So
Yep.
so this kind of makes it
Exactly.
easier to just add Finale because they can
Yes.
continue with that workflow. And you're saying it
Definitely.
still's going to come in through ShipStation from the marketplace. And oh yeah, beautiful. So it comes from
Little
the
tracker.
top left-hand corner right there. It comes from all
Mhm.
those different places. I see Walmart, big retailers, and shopping carts and marketplaces in the
Yep.
ShipStation, like it's been doing all along. And then whoop, we put in Finale, and then
Mhm.
and that makes sense. Finale, uh, yeah, sends it to QuickBooks, and also the finished order goes back to ShipStation, reports back to ShipStation, reports back to um, the origin, the
Mhm.
order of origin, right? So
Exactly.
um, the customers could have an option to see the status of their order in all different places. It looks like they have all
In all the
kinds of
places.
options of where to see the status of their order.
Yep. Yep. You're exactly right. And I feel like because Finale kind of sits a little bit downstream, implementing it Finale team tends to be, kind of a pretty quick process, depending on how large the business is. But because, these things are kind of already running, just adding Finale at the bottom is, kind of a painless, a less, a more pain-free type of process. But like you said,
Yeah.
Ship and then QuickBooks sits down here kind of below Finale. But we do have multiple configurations in here. We're able to create invoices automatically through your integrations. We're able, to pull in your FBA orders into Finale, either through ShipStation or through Amazon. We have, kind of just basically kind of endless configurations.
Yeah.
We,
But I'm sure when someone looks at this, they probably feel overwhelmed, like, oh my gosh. Like
and that's where we
at
come
one
in.
point, it's awesome that we have all these options. But then also, if I'm putting myself in a prospect's or a customer's position, I would think, whoa, what do I do with all those settings, right?
Mhm.
So maybe this is a good time to tell us a little bit about what kind of support you offer. Um,
Yeah, so
implementation
phone,
support
email,
and
chat,
onboarding
all of it.
support. Yeah.
Yes, all of it. Phone, email, chat, implementation support, ongoing training, onboarding. We do not charge additionally for any training or implementation or anything like that over here at Finale. Your success is important to us. So we make sure we help you along the way. So we are pretty reachable. Our ticket response rate is usually less than 2 hours, and our satisfaction scores are above 90%. So we do value our support. I think that is kind of one of those things that sets Finale apart. We hear a lot of things about our competitors that their support is terrible, and they come to us and they can call us and get a demo scheduled one day and an onboarding scheduled the next. So like that kind of thing, I think sets us apart.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really great. I'm sure, like other companies, you have busy times and slow times as well. I'd hate to hold your feet to the fire on that. You said in Lance's demo that your response time is
Less than 2 hours. I mean, I don't think it. I mean, maybe it goes to 2.6, but it
wow.
is very important to us. We are on top of our support.
Yeah. Wow, that's great. So how many people are there at Finale? Like how big is Finale? How many employees are there?
Now it has grown almost, I would say almost doubled since I got here almost 2 years ago now. So
Oh,
I think our Friday meetings have almost 40 people in them now.
cool.
And it's kind of split up, half and half engineers, half
Yeah.
business.
So small enough to be personable, big enough
Yes,
to be very supportive is
yes, yes,
how I would see that. That's awesome.
yes. And something else, I guess, that comes along with that is that, when we have a customer that is asking for a feature, or when, we have a partner asking for a feature, those kind of things, because our group is so, kind of close knit, we are able to like take your suggestions and implement them in the system. So like your feedback actually gets implemented in Finale. I have, had customers show me around their account and tell me, hey, look at this setting. I asked for this setting and I got it. So
Wow.
like
Yeah,
that kind of
that's
thing is,
awesome. And I want to point out to whoever's watching this video that current date is April 2023. So take that in mind. If you're watching this in 2024, 2025, or 2026, or whenever you're watching this, this this data is going to change. But
oh yes,
awesome. Yeah. So
making
just
changes every
show
day.
us some more integration settings, and maybe show us the sales order screen too.
Yes, yes. So this is, like I said, this is your integration screen. This screen will you'll manage all of your different connections you have to Finale. So that will be your QuickBooks, your marketplace, and including we have an email integration, so you can set up scheduled reports to be emailed to specific people, team members, whoever, on a scheduled basis. So we can have those. Like for example, a stock report sent to you, Lance, every first of the month to let what quantities you have on hand, like on a regular basis. So there's some options
Now,
there.
we're seeing
Mhm.
what we're looking at right now. Are these just the integrations that were set up in this specific account?
Yep, these are just my integrations in my account.
Yeah, so I wanted to bring that up because I think one of the bragging points about Finale that makes Finale qualify for the robust category is the number of available integrations. So brag a little bit for us, Madison.
Yes.
How many marketplaces
How
and
many do we
shopping
have?
carts and
Over
big
40. Over
retailers?
40.
Over 40.
Over 40, yes. And I'm just on our integration screen here. We have everything from Amazon, Fair, Newegg, even kind of obscure ones, Press to Shop. But Shipping Easy, Shopify. We do have some POS integrations, so Square, Vend. We also have, like I said, some B2B. So we have Fair. We have Zoe and some newer ones with Zentail. That's like kind of a newer one. But Wish, I mean, there is if you're looking for EDI connection, Finale also integrates with SPS Commerce, and that's been getting more popular, I think, nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah.
But kind of
Um,
more than you'll need, I think.
and my creative juices are going here.
Mhm.
Since you pull orders in from ShipStation, it kind of seems to me, now tell me if I'm wrong, but it kind of seems to me that that opens up even more integrations for you by default. Like you basically integrate with any e-commerce platform that ShipStation integrates with, right?
Yes, basically we can pull in any sales as long as ShipStation gets it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we do run into the issue. Well, does Finale integrate with this? And then we ask, well, does it integrate with ShipStation? And they say yes. Well, then we say yes, Finale can pull your data in because we're going to get it from ShipStation. And
Awesome.
ShipStation has over like 100 integrations, I think. So usually if we don't integrate with it, they do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's a good point to bring up, you know.
Mhm.
So show us the sales order screen. I know it's
Yes.
not common for a Finale user to actually manually create a sales order, but I'm sure it happens sometimes. So, okay, this is what it looks like.
Yeah.
We're
So
looking
this
at
is
the
so
selling.
by default,
Mhm.
Yep, your selling header and then your sales orders. So this is your sales order list screen. By default, it is filtered by your committed and draft orders. So that would be your orders that are reserving stock and your orders that are still in like an editable state. But I can clear this out and kind of show you all of my old orders I have in my account. So this is, what it'll, look like when you have data in your account. But
Finale is web-based, so anyone that
cloud-based, yep,
has a user can access it. Okay.
yep.
And so this is the list of all the orders. What does the order look like just on its own screen? Like if you click
Yeah.
on one of those,
Mhm.
what does that look
Yep. So
like?
this is our sales order detail screen, which has also been recently revamped. And one great thing about Finale is, if you can see here, this order is in a completed status, but I'm going to come in here and edit it, and all I have to do is change it back to this draft status. I know there's a lot of almost like restrictions with other softwares where once you like create an order and you commit it, you can't ever change it. But
Oh,
not the case with Finale. You can come in here, change it back to a draft or editable status and, make any adjustments you need to.
wow.
So there is none of that kind of rigid restriction.
Nice. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. That's definitely a bragging point. Well, one thing that surprised me about Finale, comparable to other e-commerce software, is you do work orders. Now, there are other
Mhm.
e-commerce software that do work orders, but it's kind of, I think, more on the rare side. E-commerce is more just distribution, but I say work order, but I think in your software you call it a build, right?
Correct. Yep. We call it a build assembly. I think it all kind of
Assembly.
means the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's take a look at
Yeah.
that. Or would you like to actually
So
create an order that we fulfill with a work order?
yeah,
That
so let me
kind of cool to see.
adjust this order and add my basket of fruit and veggies to it. And
Okay.
if you see here, I've got a little warning to the left. Finale is telling me I have, zero in stock and none available. I have nothing built. I have no baskets built on my veggies yet.
Awesome.
But let me enter a price here. Let me do $10, and I could enter a below the line adjustment. So, maybe I paid the customer had to pay, $5 in shipping. It's an expensive basket.
Yeah.
Okay, and I am going to change that status to committed. Changing that status to committed tells Finale that these units are now reserved for this order. And
Oh,
if you, so now if I go back to my inventory header and my view stock screen, and we look at this basket, I'm gonna expand it and you'll see that, I have my sales order. I can click it and go right to it if I want to. I can see where it's being reserved at. And if I keep looking over to the right, I'll see my -1 unit at my warehouse. So my quantity
right.
on hand is 0. My available is -1. Does that make
And
sense?
and do you allow quantity on hand to go into the negative? I see that's just
We
quantity
do.
available, but you do have an option to let quantity on hand go into the negative. Interesting. And is that an option or is that just core programming? You allow,
Yeah, so you are allowed to. You can so for example, if I go into this sales order and I ship it without building it, that will cause make my quantity on hand to go negative. Yes.
so it
And
will
finale,
allow you to ship it right now, even though
it
you don't
will.
have it. Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and there are reasons for
Some
that.
people
People
would like that, some people wouldn't,
exactly.
That's why when people come to me and say, Lance, what's the best inventory software? I say, I can't say because I don't know anything about you.
Yeah,
You're asking the wrong question. It's not what's the best inventory software. It's what's the best inventory software for me?
right.
What features does
Exactly.
my company need? Right? If the
Exactly.
software has all the features that your company needs and it doesn't well, then that's the best software for you. Right.
Exactly.
So anyways,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yes.
you
That
were
makes
showing us the
total
inventory
sense.
screen, which is
Yeah,
awesome.
preview
That's
stock
one reason
screen.
why people buy inventory software is to increase visibility. Give us visibility.
And this exactly what the screen does. We also have different views as well. So I have a sales view of my stock screen, which has a lot of my sales velocity columns. I have a demo view, which has, some pretty columns, all pretty for a demo. But I have Bob's view. I have Madison's view. We have different preset views available. So you can set filters and set the columns, for per view. So, maybe a certain user just wants to see, maybe what's in, the finished good category or the raw materials category. So we could set up kind of, different views based on that. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which is a newer feature as well. But I am going to click into my basket and I'm going to make sure I have my bill of materials set up. So my bill of
Oh
materials
yeah.
in Finale is what
Kind of
tells Finale,
blindsiding you with
what the
this
recipe.
request. We've got to.
No, no worries. I knew I had it set up. I just wanted to kind of show how it looks. So,
Oh, of
this is
course. Oh yeah, absolutely.
yep. So we call it bill of materials. It's the recipe. It's what the basket is made of. Is how you tell Finale what this basket is made of. So I have my bananas, my zucchini, and my apples. And I'm telling Finale it takes one of these two to make it and 1.5 of my apples. And, so Finale does support fractional quantities in the bill of materials. So, maybe I'm tracking my apples in pounds and it takes 1.5 pounds or ounces or grams, kind of however you are tracking that. But if
awesome.
you see there, my Finale is saying, my potential build quantity is 0 because I don't have any of my my components in stock.
That's a good feature. Potential to build. Another thing I call it is available to build. Some people make their building decisions based on what they can build. There's different
Right.
ways to decide what to build. Do we need to build because it's below our predefined healthy stock levels, or do we need to build it because customers asked for it, or should we build it because we can? And we should try to sell what we can build. Like different business models need different features. So okay.
And kind of speaking of that, so this bill of materials, Finale has 2 ways to handle it. So one way, I'm going to show you is the builds way, and that's how we kind of the assembly action. So we tell Finale what we want to create, and Finale, ask me how many I want to produce, and that's how we add stock to the finished good and consume the component stock. So this is kind of one way to do to like handle that bill of materials. But Finale kind of also has another more automated way. So we call it
Ooh,
expand bill
show
of
us that.
materials. Expand bill of materials. And what that expand bill of materials means is that when an order comes in for that basket, for that bundle product, that Finale is going to basically replace this SKU on the order with these SKUs. Finale is going to automatically consume your component stock when you sell a basket.
Interesting.
So we have 2 options for that build material. So we can do the assembly process, so maybe if that's your workflow and you need that kind of assembly step, or we can do the always expand for those people who are, people are just selling, a bundle of shampoo and conditioner bottles and they just pick it off the shelf when they get an order for it.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we kind of have 2
Bundle.
options.
That's a common term. Kit. is
Yep.
another current term. Yep. So that's what you're talking about here is
Mhm.
not really an assembly in anticipation for a sale, but an automated assembly that sort of comes together during the picking process of fulfilling the
Right.
order. Gotcha.
Exactly.
So yeah, I've seen this
Exactly.
kind of design in other software programs that whether it's a kit, a bundle, or a bill of material, we use the bill of material, but just toggle it to a different setting.
Exactly.
So the behavior or the routing of the bill of material varies depending on your needs. Cool.
Exactly. 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 And Finale is also, able to give you the cost of this basket based on the cost of your components as well. So we are able to give you those calculations.
Of course. Of course. Now, do
Okay.
you have any sort of tool that helps people decide that are wanting to build in anticipation of a sale? Do you have any sort of tool that would tell them, hey, based on your predefined healthy stock levels and your current demand and your forecasted quantity on hand, these are what you should build. Like this is the software's recommendation of what builds they should plan to do.
Finale does have the ability to help out with that. So I'm scrolling up in this screen and I'm coming to this reordering section. So
Yeah.
Finale is able to help you. So your Finale has two types of reordering, one based on sales velocity and one based on reorder points. So sales velocity reordering with Finale would use, your sales velocity for a product in a given date range that you choose. So maybe, the last year, the last 60 days, whatever time frame you choose. And Finale can then, determine how many, units you need to reorder. But maybe, in this case, you don't reorder, but you use this as a, to tell you how many you need to build, basically,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah. Nice.
But yep, you can enter
Okay.
your processing days, safety stock days. You can even tell Finale, how much you project this product to grow in the next year. So maybe if you see, like 10% increase over the next year, Finale, you can enter it in Finale. We're also able to, factor that into the reorder calculation we give you.
Okay. So in your software, you call work orders builds. That's the term you
Correct.
use. Okay.
Yes.
So this fruit basket, did we create a build?
I did create a
Okay.
build for it. I didn't do anything with it because I don't have this was not
A
it.
stock, right? So
I don't have the
that's
stock.
a perfect segue to say, hey, let's go buy the stock.
Yep,
Can you show us
exactly. So yes,
can you show us your purchasing process, your purchase order
yes,
creation process? Yeah, show us that.
of course. So your purchase order screen is very similar to your sales order screen. It's filtered by committed and draft orders by default. But if I clear it out, I'll just be able to see all my purchases. But let's create a new one. So I forgot to mention that almost every field in Finale can be updated in bulk via spreadsheet. So if I wanted to create this PO via importing a spreadsheet, I could do that as well. There is, both options, like a purchase order import, would look something like this. You enter this data in and just copy and paste and drop it into Finale.
Okay.
Just
All
copy and
right.
paste. I said that correct. There's
Yeah.
no importing files, none of that, just copy and paste.
So if you have a big long list of things you need to buy, you can just import it. So you run the
Yep.
report. Finale says this is what you should buy on the reorder report. You export that report and then
It's even easier than that.
massage it. Oh, okay. Show me the easier way. I like
Yes,
easier.
even easier. Yes. So I'm going to go to my purchasing header and my reordering screen. So once you have those reorder information filled out in your products, once they hit those points, they will show up in this screen. So I'm not sure. I don't think I had reorder information set up for all of them, but I do see my basket in this screen and it's showing, my location available is -1. My reorder point is 0. So it's telling me, I need to reorder 2. Get
Okay.
it back to.
Location available. Now, a location, is that a building with an address? Is that a
Right.
site? Okay.
Right, your
All right.
location, yeah, so your warehouse or your, so like the
I guess
large
with
location,
Amazon, it would just be well, whatever location they're in,
FBA.
right? Like,
Yeah, yeah, Amazon's hands.
Yeah.
But
But
you
that's
are able
good.
to
You have,
create purchase orders in this screen. So, I could filter it, maybe I'm only doing my Acme supplier. I can create, my 2 POs for Acme. Or if I want to do, this supplier, I can create my purchase
and
orders
it
for
has
that
it divided
supplier.
up because it's purchasing it for those sites.
Right.
So you have predefined stock levels per site. And it's saying,
Exactly. We can do,
yeah.
yep, precisely. And I'm going to
Awesome.
just jump back to that. So we do yep. So like you said,
Yeah.
per site. So
So
per
those are the
my
sites.
locations.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. When I saw
Finale calls it
Amazon, I
locations.
immediately didn't think site. I thought customer, or not customer, store. That's kind of what I thought is. So I'm glad you're explaining that these are sites. Okay. Well, I want to see what happens when you click that blue button on that previous screen. You got me at
On
the edge
the
of my seat
reordering
here.
screen.
Yeah. You click the
Yeah. So
create
let
3
me
purchase orders.
narrow it down. Can I do? Yes, perfect. Okay. So I just want to create my one purchase order for that one basket.
Okay.
Mm,
Baskets of
But
fruits and veggies.
that's not actually what I want to do. I want to do it for my bananas and my components of my basket. But here,
Yes.
I'll just show you. So let's create these 2 POs. All I click is next. And now it's going to show me them, my 2 POs right here, or these 2 POs, pardon me. And it just populates our products on it for us by the supplier, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So you buy bananas from one guy, apples from another one, zucchini from someone else. Boy, we're gonna have lots of zucchini this year. We planted 5 zucchini plants in our garden.
Ooh.
I don't know what we're gonna do. They're coming out of our ears. So if you get a
Let's
basket of
sell at the
zucchini,
farmer's market.
yeah.
That's great. I wish I could grow vegetables. I can just grow houseplants. I can't
Yeah.
get the vegetables. But yep, so you can create the POs from that screen. But I am going to go back to, where was my blank one? I think it's my first one. Yeah, I'm going to go back to my blank one and add exactly what I want to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see
So
that
that
too.
is my
See the automation and the manual
apples.
way. They're both important to see.
My apples, my bananas, and I'm going to jump back to my view stock screen and go back into my product here. Make sure I'm adding what I need to. Apples, zucchini, and bananas. Okay. So I just double click in this box and you can start searching, by the SKU, by the description. You can also, go to your products view. So we also have this tab in your purchase order screen, and you can kind of filter it by location, category, and go down this list and add all the products to the PO. So there's kind of multiple ways to add your SKUs to your purchase orders in Finale. But let's receive 20 of each and let's enter some prices. Finale does generate you a average cost of your products, and that is actually an average weighted landed cost. So it does include any below the line adjustments you have as well. I'm going to add a little shipping fee there. And if you can see, you are able to specify in Finale how you want to allocate those discounts or fees. But I'm going to save changes up here. Okay. And I'm going to mark that order committed. One other thing to note in Finale is you can print your purchase orders in Finale, and these documents are completely customizable. We can add, terms and conditions at the bottom of it, and kind of text or columns, that you need.
Yeah.
You can also email your purchase
Customizable
orders
is
directly.
good. We like customizable.
Yes. And our reports and our labels are all customizable.
Awesome.
So if there's a report in Finale that you need that you don't see, we can create one from scratch.
Awesome.
Okay. So now our PO is committed. If I go to my my stock screen, I'll see my bananas now. If I expand everything, I see my PO 250 for my bananas and my apples, and it's this supplier, and this is where it's on order.
Oh,
And
so
this is the
it gives a little
quantity.
history there. It says where it came from. Cool.
Yep.
That's the exploded view. Okay.
get the exploded view. Yep, so we can make
Yeah, I
it
have a lot
small
of
and I can,
customers that like to track what PO it came from or what vendor invoice it
yes.
came from. And so I think a lot of people would like that.
Yep. And so you mentioned that you would like to see the scanner.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's receive this purchase order. Let's see your mobile warehouse device.
Yeah. So can you see it okay?
Yep. We got sync, pick, receive, and
Stock change.
stock change.
I'm gonna sync my scanner first. So in Finale, you'll want to sync your scanner before and after you do any action, just so it syncs to the cloud. But okay, so like you said, sync, pick, receive, stock change, stock take, transfer, check. And these check items, check sublocation, are just to check see what items you have located in a sublocation. And check an item is like if you want to scan a product and see how many units you have of it, where it's located. Just quick
I like how
info
big the
checks.
font is, by the way.
Yes.
I think people like that when they're tapping the screen with their finger.
My big fingers, yes, and not using a little, stylus or something. Yep.
Yeah.
But there are a couple different options on here. But I'm going to go to the obvious one, the receive one.
Receive.
And you can you can type in the order ID, scan the order ID, or tap into this field and select the order ID. So if you wanted to scan it, Finale does, we do print you out a purchase order with the barcode if you do want to scan it.
Now the receivers probably wouldn't have a purchase order. They'd have a packing list. I don't imagine they'd have a barcode when they receive. So show us just typing in. Is there a selection option? Can you click and select from a list of POs?
Yeah, so if you literally tap into the this order ID box, we'll bring you to the list. So if I had a long list of purchase orders, they would all be here.
Oh,
but I only
so in
have the
this
one.
demo, we only have one purchase order. So we're only
Right.
seeing, okay, I got you.
We're only seeing the one.
Yeah.
Yep. Finale is going to ask me where I want that PO to go to, which sublocation. So so like you said,
Okay.
the location is the site, and then the sublocation is within that location.
Okay.
So think of it like the bin, the shelf, the
The
rack.
bay, the aisle, the area,
Mhm.
however the user decides
Yeah, however
to
you're
organize their warehouse. So you have
exactly.
two levels, a location and a sublocation. Okay.
Exactly. Yep. So you can either, click into this option, choose your sublocation, or you can scan it from Finale. And I'll just jump over here to my labels. And these are just preset labels that are, in everybody's account. And they're ready for use immediately.
Sure.
So you can scan your sublocation, or you can, of course, just choose it from the list. I'm going to choose my main. Now he's going to ask me to scan my product.
Main is
can
probably
either,
just a general area.
Exactly,
okay.
just the general. I could, I do have kind of more granular. So I have A1, A2, A3, main, and pack are my sublocations in my warehouse. But yeah, I'm just going to put it in main. And now it's going to ask me, which scan my item to receive. So this is where you scan your product barcode. And I can jump back to Finale and show you that. So maybe, I'm scanning these two and go to my little actions, print barcodes. We also print QR codes as well. So, kind of whatever your scanner supports, but you can go
Cool.
ahead and
Yeah,
scan your
QR
little
codes are becoming a little
barcodes.
more popular.
Yes, QR codes are the best, I think, the best. But so like I said, you can scan it or you can click into this field, and Finale is going to show me, my 3 products on that purchase order.
Okay.
I'm going to choose my first one. If you have, if you're doing lot ID, serial numbers, that kind of thing, this would be, your time to enter that in.
Okay.
But we're going to keep it simple here, and we're going
Is
to
lot number tracking, let's see how I ask this question. If you decide that you want to track a specific part by lot number, since you're in the oils and supplements industry, is it optional or required? Like if you say, check this box, this part is going to be tracked by lot number. When you receive, can you receive without the lot number?
Yes.
So it's optional.
Yeah. So Finale, we do not force. No.
Don't force.
So you can
Okay.
track some products by the lot. You can track some products, not by the lot. Maybe if you have, high valued items that you need to track by the serial number, and you could
Yeah.
certainly do that for the one
And
product.
I get that, but I'm just thinking about when you decide to track a specific part number by a lot, like this banana, you decide to track bananas by lot numbers, and you try to receive a banana. Lot number tracking is turned on for that banana. Can you receive that banana without a lot number?
Yes.
Okay.
Finale.
And is there a setting which you can check to stop that? Like, does the user have the option to say, no, I want to force lot number tracking on this part? Like, do you have that option?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
Not to my knowledge. I do not think we have a setting to force a user to enter a lot ID. However, we do have kind of other settings to force a lot ID format. So I'm just going to our settings really quick.
Okay.
Into our lot identifier setting. So I can force a user to use an expiration date plus text, and that will make the user enter the lot ID in that format, or else we won't accept it. So this kind of, we can like help force like formatting to keep the team, kind of keep everybody using the same type of formatting. So we are able to force that, but not necessarily the lot.
Yeah, I think it's probably good. It merits some attention because your biggest industry that you help is the oils and supplements industry, which a lot of lot number tracking there. But with the e-commerce fulfillment, one thing I ran into on that implementation I talked about with the previous customer from years ago, it's probably actually 5 years ago. Yeah, 5 years ago, I'm thinking back, where they struggled with fulfilling with lot number tracking, because the software they were using didn't allow them to pick unless they got the lot number right. So I can see some logic into leaving this flexible, saying, yes, let's put the lot number in, but we still need to fulfill orders. There's some pros and cons, some decisions the business owner needs to make. If if can we hold people accountable if they don't put the lot number in? Do you have an audit trail that people can? Okay, so
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah,
I'm just going to jump there real quick. Your stock history screen. So this is I log in under our admin screen, so I'm coming in as Finale staff. But if you see Madison 123, this is my scanner login. So everything
Madison
I do on
received
scanner.
a part without a lot number. She's in trouble.
Yep.
We need to talk to Madison
Exactly.
and ask her why. And yeah, okay, cool.
Yep, and we can see down to, I think, like the second that they, that the like action was synced.
I think
Yes,
accountability is important to achieve accurate inventory tracking. People need to be held accountable for their responsible step.
Right.
That's one thing we do here at Brando Consulting is help business owners define or operation directors or whoever's in charge of the project define roles and responsibilities. Who's responsible for what? And let's hold them accountable for their step. Then we can achieve accurate inventory.
Right. And
so yeah, let's
problems.
receive this with the mobile device. Let's receive it.
So you can either type in the quantity here, or we can hide this quantity box and force the user to scan the item, 20 times. So we can kind of get that like pick verification or receive verification, should I say,
right.
Make sure people are receiving, what they're supposed to. But if you look at the bottom there, we see our, last scan, it was 2020 at my apples. I'm going to go on to the next one. And if you see, we do a little green bar when you've picked or when you've received, the full quantity. I'm going to go down to the next one. I'm going to do 20 again and down to my zucchini.
And I imagine you can receive more or less than what was purchased, right?
Right. So I could receive 100. Finale's going to, we're going to kind of warn you, you did receive, it's not, green and good and go. You didn't, you received, more than you should have. But yes, you are able to receive more. and we could receive less. So, partial shipments are definitely a thing nowadays. We're lucky, if we get everything
Yep.
ever. So totally,
That's the
both
main thing, is
options
just
are viable.
don't go with the default of what was on the PO. You need to actually count the inventory and put in the quantity that was actually received.
Right.
You want
Right.
your
And then
inventory
that's,
to be accurate.
and
Yep.
then maybe then we hide the quantity box. Then they can't even type it in. And they have to scan it, 20 times.
Oh, wow. Yeah, all kinds of options there. Nice.
Definitely. So I scanned all my items. I'm going to exit to my main menu and I'm going to sync. And it just
Okay.
takes a couple seconds. Ready to sync.
And this says, I just saw the little thing that said Android emulator. So this is Android. So
Yeah,
this
Android
can
based.
run on any device that has Android.
Yes, as long as you can get, to the Google Play Store and download it. Yeah.
Then you can run it. Cool. Okay.
Okay, but if you just from our list screen, you can see, my order 250, and you can already see, that it's been received. But I'm going to click into it so we can get more details. And I'm going to go to our shipments tab. So this is our receiving screen in the UI. So this is where you would receive the PO if you were not using the scanner. I just did a little refresh there so we could see my shipment.
If we set up the bill of material to be the kind of bill of material that requires an assembly step, we would need to go to the build screen and assemble it before we could ship it out. If we set the bill of material to be just like a bundle instead, we could go straight to the shipping screen next and ship out each individual component as a bundle, right? Okay, exactly. So what did we do? I don't remember. Did we make a bundle type BOM or an assembly?
So we're doing an assembly type. Okay,
awesome. Yeah, because I want to see that. I want to see
the other one's automated. There's really nothing to do there.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely. So
and is there
our scanner
picking screen or some sort of picking step that would say, okay, let's pick for this work order? Maybe we should start there.
So not for the builds. So we do not have any scanner functionality around the build screen, but for your sales order picking and your purchase order receiving. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, let's build it.
Okay. So we received it. I just want to notate down here. It was received this date, at 12:14 at 17th second by me on the scanner. So you'll always be able to see in this screen too what who shipped what. If I canceled it, if I did anything like that, you would see that here in the log.
That's really helpful when fulfilling back orders from sales orders. When it comes in with routing or triaging, it comes in the door. Oh, should it just go right back out the door? Because if there's a sales order waiting for it, then we probably shouldn't put it in stock. We should probably set it aside or take it straight to packaging and boom, ship it right back out.
Yeah, that makes total sense as well. But so we have our PO. If you I guess do you want to walk through the bill for the purchase order?
Yeah, because we received this already. The inventory is in stock, and so now we're ready to go build it.
Yep. So I'm gonna bill it first too.
Not build.
Yes.
I see what you're saying. So before we build it, you're saying, "Hey, Lance, let's actually record the vendor's invoice."
Exactly.
That's the step we want to do.
Okay. So I have it fully received.
You're right. I'm jumping ahead.
Build.
Okay.
No, I love it. Perfect. I'm going to go to my QuickBooks integration now. I'm going to run that task, and I think I am signed out already. QuickBooks is very fast.
Yeah. So when we receive something in Finale, what does it send? If we just receive, but we don't record the vendor's invoice, does it just create a journal entry to a holding account in QuickBooks?
So if you receive without creating a bill for it.
Yeah. Is
fulfilling
a purchase order a two-step process in Finale, where one step is the receiver is received, the other step is the office lady records the vendor invoice?
Right. So yes, you're exactly right. So Finale is, we do work in a two-step process, and Finale, we do have what we call a clearing account. So when you receive your purchase order, we adjust the clearing account, and then when you do the bill, we clear out the clearing account, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So I
Gotcha.
am in my QuickBooks account. I'm going to go to my bill section, and we have a little one there. So here is my bill from my demo supplier. I'm
And
gonna
how did
click
this
into it
bill
and
get
scroll
here?
down.
Did you really
I
quick
just
just
synced it.
boop, you synced
I
it
just
up?
literally
You like received
ran
the
task
corporate
now.
invoice and boom. Okay, so I guess I was expecting a step in Finale where you sort of entered in the vendor invoice that may or may not match what was received.
Yes. So I went through that a little quick. Let me go back to it. So when you are in your PO, I click this little add bill button,
Okay,
add new bill. And that is how I created this bill tab.
gotcha.
And if if it is different, you can, same deal, change it back to draft, adjust what you need to, change it back to posted.
Oh, so you just put it in QuickBooks, took it back out of QuickBooks, put it in QuickBooks, took it back out of QuickBooks. That's really awesome. And then
But yep,
also
in
the only thing
QuickBooks.
we didn't see in Finale was you changing the quantity or changing the cost or adding shipping charges or things like that. We just kind of flew through
Right.
it.
So I did have some of those on my purchase order itself. So I did have a shipping cost at the bottom there.
Shipping cost was there. Okay. And then can we change prices here or anything like that if they charge us something different than we had on the PO? Okay.
Yeah. So I'm in the bill screen now. And like I said, you can change it to draft
Yeah.
and adjust, make the adjustments that you need.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect.
Change it back to posted, but I'm gonna go back to my bill tab in QuickBooks. So Finale does sync bill payments with QuickBooks. So once you mark it paid in QuickBooks, Finale will also mark your bill paid in our system.
Okay. So
So I'm good.
we don't pay bills in Finale. We pay the bill in QuickBooks, which is
Exactly.
pretty normal. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's typical. And it's running now. I think it captured it. I'm going to go back to my PO and my bill. And I'm going to, okay, it already synced. So if you see my subtotal was 180. I have a $10 shipping. My total was 190, and I synced my bill payment from QuickBooks that, so now my total paid is 190. And if you see, here it's kind of being adjusted, within the second. But now my bill is posted and paid.
Now, purchasing from overseas is popular, and
Yep.
And purchasing from overseas comes with all kinds of shipping related charges. You might have a broker, might have tariffs, and a broker usually has his own separate bill. How would you handle that in Finale? Like if you're being billed for shipping from a third party rather than from the vendor.
So I guess it would depend if you, if you wanted that bill to be associated to your purchase order in Finale. If that makes sense. So like maybe in that situation, you would only create the bill in QuickBooks for the broker and not Finale. Because maybe it doesn't directly.
Which brings me up another question. What about landed cost? Can you land costs in Finale? Okay.
Yeah. So our average cost is an average landed cost. And
Perfect.
So if you see here, we kind of break it down per unit, and I can even break it down a little further.
Okay. So it sounds like if you have a third party carrier, you're being billed from a third party carrier rather than from the vendor, then you would put those charges in the billing step in here somewhere. And then that would be like, how would you separate that? How would you land the cost, but keep it separate from the vendor's bill? You know what I'm saying? Because it's coming from a
So,
third party.
so if you want those like fees to be including your product's landed cost and like the product's average cost in Finale, you'd want to add those adjustments to the purchase order itself, because when you receive the purchase order, for the prices you enter here, Finale, that's how we adjust your average cost. But if you wanted to keep it separate, then you would just add it to the bill, because the bill doesn't affect the item's cost, if that
When
makes
you click
sense.
the
It's
bill, it's
receiving the.
almost like the screen doesn't even change. That's
I
probably
know,
what
I
threw
know,
me. Because
I know. I
I see in the
definitely, I
top
guess
left-hand corner, it's different and the tab is different, but it's like, oh my gosh, it looks almost identical when you
they
move
do.
purchase order to bill, it's like, it looks almost exactly the
Mhm.
same.
They
Uh,
do. They do.
okay, so you can add third-party shipping related charges to the bill. But what if it's not on this bill? And what if it's a separate bill? I guess is what I'm getting at. It's because
Yeah, so you
what
could
do you
create
do
another
there?
bill.
I
You can
see.
add multiple bills.
Okay. Okay. That's what I'm looking
Yeah.
for.
So I could add a whole new
So you
bill.
can have
So I could have,
multiple bills per purchase order. That bill could be the vendor of the purchase order or a different vendor related
yep.
to that purchase order. Beautiful. Okay. That's
Mhm.
awesome. Yeah, that's great.
Awesome. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So we have our components received. I think we are ready now to assemble. I'm going to go back to my build screen, and I'm just going to create a new one. And you can use a build order ID. So I could call this my build ID. I can tell Finale, my product to produce, my basket, how many I want to make. If I try to make, 50, now it's going to throw red lines, you can't make 50, you don't have enough components to make 50. And if you see up here, we're going to give you a bad validation. So let's make what I can make. So let's do 10. Now it's going to populate my build quantities for my stock to consume. So it's going to take 15 apples, 10 bananas, 10 zucchini. It's going to take a little more apples because I have that component quantity set to 1.5. So I need 1.5 apples to make one finished good. So if I'm making 10, I need 15. And you're
Awesome.
does that all make sense?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I click
We
the
made
start
10
build
instead
button.
of, okay.
Okay, perfect. Yep. Okay, and you can also enter the lot ID. So like you said, maybe you are mixing these essential oils, in-house, or you're manufacturing, something in-house, and you need to associate a lot to the finished good. You're able to do that here.
Do you
So
have
I can,
features that relate to outsourced manufacturing, or you send something to the vendor and maybe you send someone else your components?
so we don't have an exact kind of module to handle that, but we definitely do have customers who do that in Finale. So they have a scenario maybe where they send things off to get powder coated, is something that I run into a lot. And they do kind of like mimic that behavior in Finale, but we don't exactly have an exact module for it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have transfer orders in Finale? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And you can do those on the scanner as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That can work.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to click this start build button.
Okay.
Starting this build is going to change these units here into a work in progress state. So I won't be able to sell these 10, 15 units. I won't be able to sell them on a sales order. I won't be able to consume them in another build. They are going to be reserved for this build. And I can show you in my my view stock screen here. So our bananas and our apples, I have quantity on hand 5 and 10, and my work in progress units are 10 and 15 here.
Okay.
So my quantity on hand has been reduced, and now they're in this kind of work in progress state until. So let me just hit my back button. Perfect. So you go into the warehouse, you assemble this item, you'll come back into Finale, and you'll complete it. Completing the build is going to add those 10 units to the finished good. So now that that's complete, I can go to my view stock screen. I'm going to shrink those and I'm going to expand my basket now. So I see our basket. We have, now we have 10 on hand. We had 0 on hand before, but now we built those 10. So we have 10. And if you see here, my quantity available is 9 because I still have that sales order reserving that 1 unit of stock.
Awesome. You'd be
But
so surprised how many people come to me and they're doing cycle count adjustments for their manufacturing, and the build or the work order is what I call it. You call it a build. So much easier than manually cycling out raw goods, manually cycling out,
oh
cycling
yes,
in
that
finished goods, and also cycle count adjusting is wrong from an accounting perspective as well, right?
right.
Now I didn't see labor, but I imagine you could probably add labor to this as well, right?
So we don't have an exact way to handle that as either, but a lot of our customers do. So what I would, if you were looking to track labor, what I would suggest you do is create a product in Finale and we call it labor and we add it to the bill of materials.
Yeah,
That way we can include it in the cost and you have that finished good. But yeah, we
sure.
can typically emulate that same behavior.
And can
But
you
now let me
map
go to
your
my,
products to specific accounts in QuickBooks?
yep. So I was just right here.
Okay.
And so I'm in a product details screen, but yes, we have this accounting module per product. So you can have per
Perfect.
products, certain products hitting certain accounts, kind of, whatever you choose.
Perfect.
Let's pick our order on the scanner. And I'm going to do a basic pick, but we have a couple different options, pick and pack, where you gather orders up, from the warehouse and then take it into a packing station.
So
We
now we're
have
going to
wave
pick
pick.
and pack the sales order. Okay.
Yep. Yep. So we have pick and pack, basic pick. We have a couple different options. But I'm going to do my basic pick since I just got my one option. Yeah. So we
this
do,
kind of goes back to what we're saying that Finale is known for, and that is high volume e-commerce fulfillment. When I see all these features in picking, basic pick, wave pick and pack, like there's a reason
yeah,
for that, right?
you're exactly.
It kind of tells you about the software. When I look at the software and I see, a lot of features in this area. Okay, that's the main focus of that software. So boom, high volume fulfillment. We've got basic pick, wave pick and pack, order
Yep.
batches.
Order batches.
Yeah.
Yep. In which those order batches, so we do communicate batches with ShipStation. So you can batch them up in ShipStation, divvy out their pick list, and and the pickers can go to their order batches, scan their batch ID that they printed from ShipStation on Finale scanner. It's going to sync up. They're going to be able to pick their batch, no problem.
We can say Finale has robust order fulfillment.
Yes, I could.
Fulfillment
That's a fair
features.
statement, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
All right.
We're
let's
gonna
do it. Let's
basic
pick.
pick.
Yeah.
So just very similar to your receiving options. So Finale is going to ask me to scan the order ID. So you can also scan the like I said, the pick list on ShipStation. Finale's barcode scanner reads the ShipStation barcode. So there's no kind of configuration there. Our scanner is programmed to read the ShipStation barcode. But I just clicked on my order there. Finale's, this is what the screen you'll see when you go to pick something. So it's telling you my SKU up here, how much is required, the description of it, telling me, what I have. So my item is at main. I have 10 at main. It's telling me, I'm at A1 in my warehouse right now because Finale takes you through the warehouse alphanumerically. So, I'm at A1 right now,
Like
but
through
it's
the
telling me to
path
go to
of
my
fewest
main.
footsteps.
Exactly. So we take you through the warehouse. So I'm at A1, but it's telling me to go to my main, scan my main barcode. So it's asking me to scan my, my sublocation barcode to tell Finale where I'm picking it from. So, I would scan my main barcode right here. And I'm just going to tap into the field and click my main barcode. But there is my SKU. So I would scan my SKU. But I'm just going to, tap it for the example's sake.
Sure.
And I can enter my quantity here. So my quantity required is 1, but if I try to pick 10, and I'm just going to throw an X, too many. too many. If I try to enter, I guess I should have entered a higher quantity than one, and I could enter less. But Finale throws the same X, so two less, too few. So there is that picking validation there where we, we require you to pick what's ordered. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
get it right. That's right. We need
Yes,
to,
exactly. And
yeah.
so when you do get it right, inactive product. Let me
An
go
active
back to
product
my main
ID.
menu.
Did we purchase, did
Did
we
I
sell,
inactivate it?
purchase, and build an inactive product?
I do not
Hard to
think
believe.
so. Let me just refresh my screen over here and make sure.
Yeah.
Yep, so I'm in my product, my basket, and the status is active. Now let me go make sure I'm actually trying to pick the right sales order here. Okay, so it is sales
249.
order 249. Go back to my scanner. I'm going to sync it again. I'm going to go down to pick, basic pick. I'm going to scan every item. Got my order. I'm going to go to my main, scan, enter.
Product basket. It's saying the product is a basket. Now, when we created
Right.
the sales order, did we have 3 different lines on the sales order, or did we have one line basket? We had one.
So,
Okay.
yep, I'm in my sales order right here. And we have
And
the
there's
one
only
line. So
one line, one item.
so like if this kind of thing, if your Finale is not able to like recognize something on an order, we always check to make sure that order hasn't been already shipped. So, if you already shipped it and maybe you're trying to pick it again, that, Finale won't let you do that on the scanner. So we typically check if the order is shipped on right. We make sure that the order has an origin, so a location in our warehouse that we need to pick it from. We make sure that the order is committed. So the order must be in a committed status to sync to the scanner. So these are a few things we check. And let me see here. Let me see if I can. I am not
This is the
sure
kind of
what
thing we
is
can
going
edit
on
out of
there.
the video.
Yes,
Weird.
Let me, that is weird. Of course, this, would happen. But let's, for the sake of our video, let's go back to my main menu, sync. Okay. Okay. So now our order has our apples and our bananas on it. So if we go to our pick option on the scanner, we're going to go to basic pick again. We're going to scan every item. We're going to tap into our order field. It's order number 249. And we're going to go to our bananas now. So, same scenario. Finale's telling me the item's at my main sublocation, and I have quantity 10 there. I'm at A1 right now, so I need to go to my main, scan my main barcode, enter my quantity, and next. So this is what it should say. So
Yay,
you get
that's
a
what
little
we
check
want.
mark, let you know you did it right. So I can undo and I can go back and scan this. So if I try to add, scan 100 of them, too many. And if you scan
Awesome.
less, now it's going to say too few. And it makes an audible noise too. So I'm just going to click enter. I was going to say good job. Next, I'm going to go to my A100 and I'm at my main sublocation. So now it's telling me to grab my one from there. I'm going to hit enter, get my check. Perfect. And it's going to let me know this order's done. I'm going to say okay. I can keep picking or I can go back to my menu, exit, sync. And we'll be able to refresh the screen on our side. I'm going to go to my my shipments tab here, and we can see here that the order is now packed at 4:28 at my main sub location. You can see it was packed by this user on the scanner. If we scroll down here, you can see where it went, a little breakdown. So this is, if you're using e-commerce channels, you pick and pack your order on the scanner. And then once you ship that order in ShipStation, or you ship that order in Shopify, you fulfill that order in Shopify. Once you print that shipping label in ShipStation, Finale will pull in that update through the integration, and we'll come in here and we'll basically mark that order. We'll click this button for you automatically, ship the shipment, and close the order.
Perfect.
So all you
Okay, so
have to do is just
so we
pick and pack
use
on
the
scanner.
shipping software to ship, which makes sense. That's where we're putting out our shipping labels and everything. We use the inventory control software to pick and
Yep,
pack. And that makes
exactly.
sense. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I think we did it.
And
I
so,
think we got through the whole thing. Is there anything else? We created a sales order, we
okay.
created a work order, we created a purchase order, we fulfilled the purchase order, we fulfilled the work order. I keep calling it a work order. I'm sorry. Build. We fulfilled the build. And
Perfect.
we picked the sales order, and then
Mhm.
we didn't see shipping it from ShipStation, but that's fine. That's totally fine. I think most viewers that are viewing this video know what it looks like to ship from ShipStation.
Yes.
They're probably doing it every day. And
Typically.
yeah, I think most people that are looking for a software like Finale have already been shipping with ShipStation, and they've grown to the point where,
Yes.
oh, we need more control. And the places where inventory is accurate is receiving and picking. That's something that ShipStation doesn't have. ShipStation doesn't have receiving and picking. Of course, it doesn't have purchasing and things like that, right? But yet, people that are doing cycle count adjustments and physical counts all the time, one thing to think about is receiving is counting, picking is counting. So you're counting what comes in, you're counting what goes out. So you're going to have accurate inventory in real time every day if you have a software like Finale that has a receiving step and has a picking step. And then, of course, you're going to have this visibility screen, see what's in stock and the status of what's in it, what's coming in because you've got the purchase orders in Finale, what's coming out, what's going out, because all of your orders have funneled in to the inventory control software. You don't have, everything separated in all these different marketplaces and shopping carts. It's all in one place. It's all unified in one place. And you can see, okay, what's on demand, what's supposed to go out the door, what do we have, what's coming in the door. So yeah, that's awesome. I think, another reason people buy inventory software is not only for the visibility and the accuracy, but commonly to reduce overstock. I think a lot of people that don't have inventory software have overstock necessarily.
They just buy because they think they need to.
Right. They have to have that cushion. You have to have that cushion. If you don't have inventory software, you have to give yourself that cushion so you don't run out. But if you have inventory software, you can comfortably and confidently, carefully reduce your overstock and put that money back in your pocket, take it off the shelf, put it back in this pocket. So you spend some money on the inventory software, but then you probably get 5 times that back by taking it back off the shelf and put it back in your pocket, because you can, you can manage your inventory better. You don't have to have so much overstock anymore.
Yeah.
Madison, that was awesome. Thank you for showing us Finale.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You just took Vanna White. You just gave Vanna White a run for her money.
Thank you. I wish I had some letters to flip.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was awesome. And So yeah, definitely reach out to us, reach out to Finale, click on the link below. We have a link below if you want a live demo, if you have questions specific to your company. Click the link below. You've probably been annoyed by the link popping up so far. We try to put this link as many as possible so you can see, like, if you're sold on Finale, you want a live demo of Finale, click that link below. If you're not sold on Finale, you need help deciding which inventory software is right for you, reach out to us here at Brando Consulting. We'll do an in-depth assessment of your company, an in-depth discovery interview, narrow down all your options and help you find the right inventory software. We're not biased here at Brando Consulting. You see in our channel, we have a lot of different inventory software programs. There's actually about 15 different ones to choose from if you're a QuickBooks user. And Finale is, we categorize that, like we said at the beginning of the film, robust e-commerce, right? Robust e-commerce software.
Multi-channel, multi-location.
Yeah. Be sure to subscribe to see more videos like this. Like, comment below. You know the drill.
Yep.
Comment below.
We hope to see you soon.
Yep. Hope to see you soon. Bye.
Bye.